The Cathani delegation trembled as they approached the human outpost on Kepler 442b. Their once proud crystalline forms were dulled by malnutrition, their bioluminescent patches flickering weakly like dying stars. Behind them, scattered across 3 barely functional ships, lay the remnants of their civilization. 12,000 souls fleeing the void swarm that had consumed their homeworld. Ambassador Zaraketh clutched the formal request in her 4-fingered hands. The document, written in 17 different galactic languages, was a simple plea. We ask for refuge. We have nothing to offer but our gratitude and what little knowledge remains of our people. The human station commander, a weathered woman named Sarah Chen, read the document with eyes that had seen too many wars. The Cathani expected the usual response: processing delays, resource allocation committees, perhaps a small refugee camp on some barren moon. That's how the Altarian Republic had responded. That's how the Centauri Federation had answered. Instead, Commander Chen did something unprecedented. She smiled. "You asked for refuge," she said, her words translated through the neural implants. "But I think you need more than that." Within 6 hours, the first human response ships arrived. The Cathani braced themselves for inspection teams and bureaucratic officials. Instead, they watched in bewilderment as massive cargo vessels began docking with their refugee ships. From the lead transport emerged not officials but cooks. Chef Rodriguez, a barrel-chested man from the Luna colonies, took one look at the malnourished Cathani children and began barking orders to his team. "I don't care if their biochemistry is different," he growled, consulting rapidly, downloading xenobiology reports. "Hunger is hunger, and I'll be damned if anyone starves on my watch." The mess halls of the human ships were soon filled with Cathani families, their crystalline forms reflecting the warm light as they tasted their first real meal in months. Rodriguez had somehow managed to synthesize nutrients compatible with their silicon-based biology, creating dishes that glowed with the same bioluminescence as their skin, a touch that brought tears to ancient Cathani eyes. But the humans weren't finished. The second wave brought farmers. Dr. Elena Vasquez arrived with an entire agricultural corps and enough equipment to terraform a continent. She studied the barren landscape of Kepler 442b and saw not desolation, but potential. "The soil's dead," she announced to her team, "but death can be composted into life." Within weeks, atmospheric processors were humming across the planet's surface. The Cathani watched in amazement as the humans didn't just adapt the planet for them, they asked them to participate. Cathani crystal song, a harmonic ability their species used for communication, proved to resonate perfectly with plant growth frequencies. Soon, Cathani younglings were singing crops into existence alongside human farmers, their combined efforts turning dust into gardens. "We had forgotten we could grow things," whispered Elder Thainka, watching his granddaughter coax a field of hybrid wheat crystals into bloom. "We thought we had lost that part of ourselves to the void." But even as crops grew and bellies filled, the humans were preparing their third response. Commander Chen stood before the assembled Cathani leadership, her expression grim. "The void swarm doesn't stop," she said. "They consumed your world. They'll come for this one too eventually. We could run, find you another planet, keep moving ahead of them. But that's not really living, is it?" She activated a holographic display showing star charts and military formations. "We propose an alternative. We make our stand here together." The Cathani were stunned. They had asked for refuge from the most warlike species in known space, and the humans were offering to die for them. "Why?" asked Ambassador Zaraketh. "We have nothing you need. Our technology is inferior, our numbers few, our military broken. Why would you risk everything for us?" Chen's answer would be recorded in galactic history. Because when someone asks for help, you don't just give them what they asked for. You give them what they need. And what you need is not just safety. You need a home worth defending. The Battle of Kepler 442b lasted 18 hours. The void swarm arrived as predicted, a writhing mass of biomechanical nightmares that had devoured 17 civilizations. They expected to find scattered refugees and perhaps a token human defense force. Instead, they found something unprecedented in their millennia of conquest. A world that fought back with everything it had. Human battle fleets engaged the swarm in orbit, while Cathani crystal singers broadcast harmonic frequencies that disrupted swarm coordination. On the surface, human marines and Cathani warriors fought side by side, the humans' brutal efficiency complemented by the Cathani's ability to predict swarm movements through their crystalline resonance. But the real surprise came when the swarm tried to consume the planet itself. For the first time in their existence, the biomass they attempted to absorb fought back. Every crop the humans and Cathani had grown together had been subtly engineered, not just to feed the refugees, but to poison anything that tried to consume them. The planet's new ecosystem, born from human ingenuity and Cathani harmony, proved toxic to the swarm. The Void Swarm retreated, wounded and confused. For the first time in recorded history, they had been stopped. Years later, Ambassador Zara Keth stood in the rebuilt capital of New Kethan, watching human and Cathani children play together in gardens that sang with crystalline beauty. A memorial stood at the city's heart, honoring all those who had fallen in the defense of their new home. She often thought about that day they had asked for refuge. They had expected charity, perhaps pity. Instead, they had received something uniquely human: the absolute refusal to do half measures when it came to helping others. They had asked for refuge. The humans had given them feasts that filled their bodies, farmers who restored their purpose, and a front line that proved some things were worth dying for. But most importantly, they had given them something the Cathani thought they had lost forever: a future where their children could grow, prosper, and eventually help the next species that came asking for refuge. After all, they had learned from the best teachers in the galaxy, humans who believe that when someone asks for help, you don't just give them what they need. You give them hope.